All right, let's talk about something that's subtle, but really, really important. We're going to get into how the normal changes in our vision that come with age can quietly turn a home we know like the back of our hand into a place with a few hidden risks.
Have you ever had that feeling? You're walking down a hallway you've been down 1,000 times, and it feels a little uncertain. Maybe the edge of that step doesn't seem as crisp as it used to. Well, let me tell you, you are not imagining it. It's a very common and very real experience. So, over the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly what's going on. And more importantly, give you a simple, practical plan to adapt your space. Look, this is not about surrendering to change. It's about outsmarting. First things first, let's get into the why. Why does our depth perception sometimes start to feel a little wobbly? I promise you, it is absolutely nothing to do with your willpower. It's all about science, just the changing teamwork between your eyes and your brain. There's a fantastic term for this: contrast collapse. And honestly, it's kind of the silent villain in this whole story. See, when colors and tones are too similar, your brain has to work way overtime just to figure out where one thing ends and another begins. That extra mental effort, that's what can lead to a misstep, especially when you're tired or not paying full attention. And this happens all over the place in real life. You know that beige rug on a beige floor? Its edge practically disappears. Or a dark step that's tucked away in a shadow. Yeah, your brain can easily mistake that for a flat surface. Oh, and glare. Glare from a shiny floor acts like a visual eraser, wiping out the very details you need to walk safely. Okay, now this is a really surprising insight. Most of us would guess that the bathroom itself, with the wet floors, is the most dangerous spot. But nope, the data actually shows the real high-risk zone is that short, familiar trip to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Why? Well, think about it. You're half awake, it's dark, and you're just running on autopilot. So how do these small things turn into a big risk? Well, a fall almost never happens because of just one single issue. It's usually a combination of little things, all stacking up. Our source material has the perfect metaphor for this. I love it: the fall risk sandwich. So you have to understand these three layers. Layer one is the visual load, stuff like glare or poor contrast. Then you add the environment load. That's the clutter, a straight cord, or a rug that slips. And then the final layer is the body load. Maybe you're just plain tired, or a new medication is making you a little unsteady. See, any one of these on its own, usually it's manageable. But when they all stack up, that's when a simple walk across the room becomes a real risk. And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head. Real safety isn't about trying to be on high alert all the time. That's exhausting. It's about setting up your home so it supports you even when you're not concentrating, like on that sleepy trip to the bathroom at 2 in the morning. Okay, so we've laid out the problem. Let's talk solutions. And here's the really good news. Some of the most powerful fixes are actually the quickest and easiest ones. We're going to start with the two biggest game changers: light and contrast. This decision card here is a fantastic little tool. It helps you pinpoint your exact problem and match it to the most effective fix. So for example, if you find you can't see edges at night, the first thing to try isn't some huge renovation. It's simple, low-level pathway lights. Seriously, it's a 10-minute job that can completely change your confidence moving around in the dark. But remember, more light is not always the right answer. It's really about the right kind of light. A single harsh bulb right overhead, that's like an interrogation lamp. It creates blinding glare and deep, confusing shadows. The goal is layered, even light that gently illuminates your path, with light switches right where you need them, where your journey begins. And what about rugs? Oh boy, rugs can be such a common culprit. If they're a similar color to your floor or they slide around, they become a serious hazard. You've basically got three simple options here. 1, just get rid of the risky rug. 2, secure it down, and I mean really secure it, with double-sided tape or a good anti-slip mat. Or 3, swap it for a rug that has a high color contrast against your floor. Make those edges pop so they're impossible to miss. All right, now let's talk about a few well-intentioned safety upgrades that can actually backfire and make things worse, because knowing what not to do is just as important. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? If your new super bright safety light is so bright that it makes you squint, you haven't actually solved the problem. You've just traded one kind of risk for another. The goal is always comfortable clarity, not just raw brightness.
Our habits also play a huge role here. For example, using the lower part of your progressive lenses when you're on the stairs can totally distort your depth perception. And wall surfing, using the walls and furniture for balance, it's just not reliable. And please, don't try to navigate in the dark just for memory. Your memory is not a lighting system.
So you're probably thinking, okay, this is great, but where do I even start? Don't worry, let's pull all of this together into a super simple action plan you can literally start the minute this is over. We're calling this the 20-minute reset. Seriously, that's it. For the first 5 minutes, just clear the path. Get rid of the clutter, the cords, the little rugs from your main walkways. Next 10 minutes, fix the transitions. Add a simple nightlight or a strip of high-contrast tape at key doorways or the top of the stairs. And for the last 5 minutes, test your night route. Walk it in low light. If you still have to pause and really concentrate to feel safe, your setup isn't good enough. Yet. Now, these DIY fixes are powerful, but it's also about being smart enough to know when to tag in a professional. As you can see here, there are 3 key triggers. If you've got persistent issues with depth perception or glare, go see your eye doctor. If dizziness is a new thing, talk to your primary physician. And if you've made these changes and you still feel unsteady, an occupational or physical therapist can be a lifesaver. This isn't admitting defeat. This is just smart, proactive management. And that really brings us to the most important idea of all. Making these small, smart changes to your home, this is not a sign of weakness. It is not a loss of freedom. It is the exact opposite. By adapting your environment to work with your body, you are actively, brilliantly engineering your own independence. You're making sure you can navigate your own home safely and confidently for years to come.